don't know about anybody else, but it's starting to feel like a real possibility that the Batman Part 2 will never see the light of day. At the very least, I think it's possible that it will never see the light of day in the capacity that it was originally intended to be seen. And anyone who is denying this or is shocked by this revelation clearly hasn't been paying attention. Let's discuss.
I watch so you don't have to.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
It's kind of crazy to think about the Batman Part 2, a sequel to a fairly successful movie, is quickly becoming the Blade movie of Warner Brothers Discovery. After what seems like countless delays and an endless line of updates that apparently go nowhere, we now have news that the Batman Part 2 has been delayed yet again, this time for an entire year.
It's been 84 years.
Variety is reporting that the Batman 2 will be pushed back until 2027, vacating its previous October 2nd, 2026 release date. The film will now reportedly release on October 1st, 2027. Has anyone taken into consideration that any hype there may have been for a Batman sequel might have died down or completely disappeared by the time this movie comes out, almost 5 years after the original? Now, the instant reaction to this news that I'm seeing on social media involves some people piling on or flat out blaming Matt Reeves for this delay. And all of those reactions, to me, are people just covering for the incompetence of Warner Brothers and the new head of DC on film.
It's true.
And you might ask, why do I say that? Well, first I want to point out that just a week ago, Matt Reeves himself confirmed that the script for the Batman 2 was almost done, and that they were, quote, going to be shooting next year. One of those updates that I was talking about that amounted to nothing, apparently. If you want to go back even further, I specifically remember an Entertainment Weekly article that said the script was finished months ago. And this was confirmed in the article by Matt Reeves himself. Now, I know some of you have the natural inclination to go on the defensive and start defending the studio and James Gunn. But I have to ask the question, how is it that the script went from being completed months ago to somehow backtracking, and it was just getting finished up last week? Now, Matt Reeves does strike me as the type of filmmaker who likes to take his time and make sure that the film is going to be right. But does this not seem a bit excessive or even contradictory based on what we know about the progress of this film so far?
That makes sense.
I'd be willing to bet a considerable amount of money that Matt Reeves is not the person or persons who is holding this project up, as much as Gunn fans and WB corporate apologists would like to blame him. No, I think I know exactly what is going on here. The writing is on the wall, and if you take off your fan goggles, you can see it too. We've seen this exact same thing happen on more than one occasion at Warner Brothers. And you can try to spin the "it's a different regime" narrative all you want. The truth is that this has been a problem at WB for a long time now, dating all the way back to the Tim Burton Batman movies, and possibly even before that. And you know what? The same thing keeps happening regardless of who's in charge.
It fooled me, we can't get fooled again.
Are we really going to sit here and pretend that there isn't a slight chance that this delay wasn't caused by the studio meddling in the creative process once again? How many rumors have we seen recently in regards to Gunn and WB wanting to merge the Batman universe with the new DCU, making Robert Pattinson's Batman the main and only Batman moving forward? The truth is that I don't think Gunn and WB want competing Batman projects. For one, they know that anything that they do will most likely be overshadowed by whatever Matt Reeves is doing. And I think they also want some of that goodwill that's been created by the Batman universe to carry over to the new DCU that desperately needs it. And I also believe the rumors that Matt Reeves himself is being resistant to such a merger. Matt Reeves strikes me as the type of person who values the creative freedom that comes when operating in your own self-contained universe. To try to make his Batman fit into whatever it is they are doing with the new DCU not only sounds impossible, it sounds like something that could definitely delay the screenwriting process, now doesn't it? I say again that shared universes are a burden on creativity, and it's like this that makes me believe that.
Man, I'm tired of being right.
Also, I don't think that it's any coincidence that Andy Muschietti recently revealed that his Batman Brave and the Bold movie has been delayed as well. Not only is this a win for everyone with standards based on how Muschietti treated Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck's Batman, but I also think it once again speaks to the dysfunction that I constantly talk about on this channel in regards to DC. My guess would be that The Brave and the Bold is being delayed or even cancelled because they are desperately trying to work the Batman into the DCU. There was another rumor today that the Batman 2 story was originally meant to take place 1 month after the events of the first movie, and that the story is currently undergoing major narrative changes. Gee, I wonder what those changes could be. I wonder if Matt Reeves is being pressured into reworking his entire vision to make the Batman more DCU friendly. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds like a lot of speculation, but it's all a matter of perspective. Because to me, it sounds like a lot of red flags. This is what WB does. They take a good thing, they meddle with it, they turn it into something that it is not, instead of just leaving well enough alone. As someone who enjoyed the Batman and appreciates Matt Reeves as a filmmaker, this whole situation sounds all too familiar and like WB and DC once again not allowing their creatives the freedom to do their job.
Something very familiar about all this.
Now, of course, in typical James Gunn fashion, he has already responded to this rumor by saying, "Yes, it is true. The only reason for the delay is there isn't a full script. Those of you who follow me here probably know that already. Matt is committed to making the best film he possibly can, and no one can accurately guess exactly how long a script will take to write. Once there is a finished script, there is around 2 years for pre-production, shooting, and post-production on big films."
Bullshit.
Have you ever seen a more convoluted situation when it comes to the confirmations or denials that an actual finished script exists? Again, I have to stress that maybe being so transparent isn't always the best course of action, because it creates instances like this where we are constantly getting contradicting reports. I believe that this is more deflection. I believe that there is a very real possibility that this film will be canceled if it hasn't secretly been canceled already. The old creative differences line coming back once again to bite another capable filmmaker on the ass. I think Warner Brothers is still every bit of the show that they are pretending to not be anymore.
I see everything.
I think someone, either Gunn or the studio or both, is sabotaging Matt Reeves' vision and then blaming him for all of the delays. It's the kind of tactics that I've come to expect from this dog company that can never seem to get out of its own way. The truth is that you should have handed the reins over to Matt Reeves after the Batman and after the Penguin and let him do whatever the he wants, considering he was the only person at the time that was creating anything of quality, and he was single-handedly keeping your brand relevant. Instead, they are now ruining the one good thing that they've accomplished in the last 5 years. And they will probably ruin another relationship with a talented filmmaker in the process. But sure, let's keep trying to convince ourselves that everything is different now. To me, this screams incompetence, it screams meddling in the creative process, and anyone who can't see that is probably being blinded by their fandom. Matt Reeves does not deserve this. The fans do not deserve this. And you'd have to be out of your mind to believe that anyone other than WB or James Gunn or both is to blame for this.
Y'all be cool. Right on.